I'm out here in these woods with my favorite camera, HFS 200 Canon. Never let me down. It's the HD camera, and I'm out here checking out my my G2 camera. Something fell. I don't know what it is. Anyway, my microphone system. I'm just browse through this area here for distant tests. It's a big tree over there. Maybe I can go over there and launch next to that tree and see exactly put a depiction in that tree here. So I'm gonna walk over here by this big tree here in the corner. It's something distinctive. It's big, and I saw a unique tree that fell there in the woods. So I'm gonna go out and check that out. So anyway, I'm out here, the woods of Powder Spring, Georgia. A lot of green space. That's what I like about it. It's like the tropics. You can come out and be part of a tropic setting in these woods in Powder Spring, Georgia. So peaceful. Nobody to molest you. Nobody to run you off. I hope it remains this way as I walk through these woods that I'm not sure. It's a good place to come and test out your equipment, because you're in the woods. You're not on the beach, but you're out here in the woods, moving around. So we have some nice pull-up stuff you can pull up. You can do some pull-up. You can do your exercise in the woods here in Powder Spring, Georgia. Okay, see if I can pull up like back in the Navy days, that I can pull my body up. I guess I still can. The woods here are great. It's quiet. So I'm hoping that my voice will come out. I already test my microphone, so I have my little wind muff on right here. I'm speaking in normal tone here in these grounds of Powder Spring, Georgia. Facility around this place. So many places to hang out and do things, but it seems like most of the citizens don't come out and use this beautiful. I guess maybe they're working, you know, and then they have a beautiful downtown there with all the amenities in the middle of it. So it's a great place to hang out, have some peace and quiet. A lot of subdivision here in this area. But what I see over there is like an interesting tree right here that I want to capture. Seemed like it came down. Seemed like it was a sort of like 100-year-old tree, and I want to walk in the midst of it from this perspective, and then come across and take that picture of that nice where it came down, just split in half. It just split in half. So I want to take a picture of that. It's such a huge tree. It came down. It came down in the woods here. Anyone know had a tree that fall in the forest? This tree came down and I was home. I didn't hear it. So I was wondering if anybody hear it Maybe the next door neighbors hear it, but seems like it's one of the biggest tree, and it's not one of the biggest tree, but it's a huge tree in the forest there in Powder Spring, and it came down with a storm, and no one seemed to come and cut it up. So I'm taking this opportunity to capture it in the state that it's in. Ooh. And this tree here. So back then, the Native American, they'll come and carve this thing here out and turn it into a canoe. And it's interesting because it's so huge. It's about, I'll say about a 50 feet long canoe you can make out of this particular tree here. And that came down. Look at it. Huge, isn't it? Yeah, this tree here fascinates me because it's so huge, you know? It's like you can sit inside of it. You can sit inside this tree right here, so huge. See, it's so huge, you can sit inside of it and make it one of your sailing apparatus. Yeah, it's huge. It's a huge tree. Things like that you want to capture, because you may not see it again. You may not see this tree like this again, because someone gonna come here and they're gonna cut it up. So I want to take the opportunity to say I've been here and I chill out in this huge tree here in Powder Springs, Georgia. It's a quiet and peaceful day. Just me and the wind, and nature's out here. And those interesting time because you may not get an opportunity to calm down and see these things. So that's why I'm always gonna shoot something, especially this tree here. And it's split in half. It's like an axe hit it and it's split in half, but this is a natural split that came, that happened during when the tree fell. So it's amazing. So like I said, I had to capture it because it reminded me of how the Native American used to use, actually, I don't know what he used to use, the axe, whatever it is, to dig out the canoe. And this wood here, no way this wood here is like, I don't know what kind of tree it is, but it seems like an oak tree. And the wood seems so pure. You can take this here and take it to the sawmill, and you can come off with such beautiful texture wood, and you can build so many things out of this particular wood that's sitting here in the forest. So I know that the Cherokee who occupied Georgia look at these things in the woods as a sense of ownership. They use them. They use it for medicine. They use it for building home. They actually use everything of the land before it was actually disposed of or removed from this area. So could you imagine being a Native American, utilizing all the things that surround you for food? You got the buffaloes, you have the deers, you have everything that you have the fish that you can need to survive, and then you have all the natural things that come along with it, the fruits, the leaves of the tree for medicine. This must have been a nice environment to live in without no locomotive, no cars, no pollution. So, yeah, like I said, I'm out today taking part in the nature. See, someone may have found a tree like I did and do the same thing that I'm doing here. Being able to look at it, how pristine and preserved this tree is, that you can make so many things out of this. It's called an oak tree here in Powder Spring Preserve here off of I think it's Douglasville, not Douglasville, Marietta Road here in Powder Spring. I hope I got the road right, but it's one of the roads that goes through here and eventually end up in Highway 6. Go through downtown Powder Spring. And be part of nature. So that's what I'm doing today. I'm being part of nature here as a Native American exploring his neighborhood. It's like from the trunk of a tree. See? It's what it looks like from the trunk of a tree here in Powder Spring. The tree went up about, I would say that's over 100 feet tall. And it came down with gravity and it landed this way. But you can see there's a base of a tree here in the woods in Powder Spring, Georgia, that is significant to nature perspective. But it seemed like from the inside of it, I think it was decaying, and because it was decaying, the weight of gravity had it collapse towards the the western side of the park. So I'm out here enjoying all this nature talk and imagining how beautiful the world was as part of nature here in these nice woods of Georgia. One musician named James Brown, a reporter asked him one day, well, how come you're able to come up with some beautiful song? And Georgia had produced a lot of musicians, and his response to the reporter was this: I go out in the woods in Georgia under the pine trees, the oak tree, and it's so peaceful. I write while I'm in there. And when I walk away from there, my whole soul was electrifying, because what came out of that park was so natural, and then I produced it so the world can hear. So that's what James Brown did to produce a lot of his what we call archive music that he wrote, and so many songs that he produced. He used to go out in the woods in Georgia and contemplate. I think Ray Charles did the same. He was blind, but he used to go out in the woods too and write a lot of his songs. That's why he wrote this song called Georgia on My Mind, because before he became blind, he used to go out in the woods like James Brown. So most of Afro-Americans did that because it was sort of like an escape for them to go in the woods away from all the atrocity, all the whatever was going on. So that's where they found solitude, in the woods of Georgia, among the pines and oak tree. And today I'm finding solitude among these woods, even though it's peaceful now. No one harass you. You can go wherever you want and say whatever you want, as long as you're not violating anyone anyone else space. So this is unique, and I'm glad that a part of their environment still is maintained to reflect that particular time of history, and it hasn't been molested. Whatever was there back then is here now in this particular setting in the woods. So I'm going to switch my camera around and show a little bit of the forest in the back of this this place here in Powder Springs, Georgia. So these are the forest ground. I'm moving around and I'm capturing them from this perspective. And if you ever come to Powder Spring, feel free to go down to the city and go down to one of those parks that connected to the we call the Chattahoochee attribute that come through here. So this is what the woods look like that I was talking about, with a African American coming out in the woods and participating in solitude and having a beautiful peace of mind in these woods here, and was able to produce such beautiful music, such artistic. Because if you want peace and quiet, you need to go out in the wood, exclude yourself from the city life, and come out in the woods. You can hardly hear anything in here but the wind, and that's what makes it a beautiful sight to be in. Come out in the woods and enjoy nature as you see it. Here's a stairwell shot here. I'm going to I'm trying to get to the first well that was dug here to provide water. We could have called Powder Spring. So the founder of this place this is Seventh Spring. So the Seventh Spring is a depiction of, mean underneath here is a lot of water. That's why the tree grows so tall here in this part of North Georgia. I'm gonna switch my camera around again as I, exit this place and show you the entrance as you come in here in this park. See what it looks like. So I'm switching my camera around and capturing some of the woods as you enter the park. Like I say, it's a fabulous place to come out and find solitude in these grounds here. That's what makes life interesting. Solitude in these beautiful grounds with no one to come out and mess with you but you alone, or if you come out with someone else, will be able to be peace and quiet in these areas. That's a body of water called the Chattahoochee River that actually comes through the city. It flows from the mountains and it ends up here, and it goes all the way out to another main attribute called the Chattahoochee River that supply most of the water for Georgia drinking and recreational site. Here's the other side of it. As I spin my camera around, this is the other part of the river here in Georgia. Chattahoochee River here in Georgia. This is what the river, the body of water looks like that comes through this place. Could imagine when we have a heavy rainfall, this body of water comes alive, but today it's just moving gentle down the stream here. But I could imagine, like I said, with a heavy rainfall, it must be I mean, one time they had 100-year-old flood here, and all of this place was underwater because this body of water here was blocked, and so the water had nowhere to go. So the whole city itself got flooded. So I'm just depicting what it looks like right now. The other side of it, as you can see, there's the other side of it, of the river. I call it a attribute, which means it empty out into another main body of water called the Chattahoochee River here in Georgia. That's what a nice nature preserve look like. And I'm gonna go down there somewhere, and I'm gonna try to. This is what the water looks like from a low point here, and that's a bridge I was on while I was up there here shooting this picture. I cannot get down there. I would like to, but it doesn't seem like there's no way for me to get down. It's too steep into that body of water. I think on the other side you can get down from over there. Yeah, seems like that's where to get down from over there, and then come down and take a picture in there. Someone drew this here on the wall. I don't know what it means, but it's a graffiti here on the wall. The animal was here, and walk out here into this forest and take a shot of this particular area. I don't want to step over there because it may not be, I may just sink. But anyway, this is Chattahoochee River attribute that comes down here through the different cities from Harum, I guess Acworth, all those northern low towns that actually comes through here. This particular body of water that finds itself dwindling from here, and then it connects into another large body of water called the Chattahoochee River. But like I said, I can't help myself. I had to come down here and be part of nature here, and I'm almost tempted to walk out there. Look like it's a rock, but I don't want to wet my shoes. Oh, my whatever it is there. We're solid ground. So there's solid ground here that you can walk on because it's like a sediment buildup here in this particular area. So I'm gonna walk a little bit further here along the Chattahoochee River riverbed here in Georgia, Powder Spring area. I love doing things like that because it's a nature shoot. So I'm gonna spin my camera around, see if I can get the other side of this riverbed, and I head back out and capture the little well that they have out there. So here am I heading back out for my photo shoot. I'm gonna spin my camera to get the other side of this riverbed here in Powder Springs, Georgia. Along that area there. Seemed like someone did it, so why not? I should be able to do it, so anyway. I'm gonna walk out here. Seems like some kind of animal been here along this area here. So I'm capturing myself, if I can see myself, right here on the Chattahoochee attribute here in Powder Springs, Georgia. It's been a festive type adventure here along this riverbed here in Powder Springs, Georgia. This thing goes for miles and miles and bring all the debris with it, broken branches, and so I happen to be down by the riverbed here. Not riverbed, but attribute of Powder Springs, Georgia. That the water, when it overflow, that comes through this particular area here. So I'm gonna see if I can at least come through this little tunnel here, see if I can capture myself in this tunnel here, or here in Georgia, Powder Springs. Then I'm looking, see if I'm in focus or if I'm in a frame here. So I'm heading back out from this tunnel here in Powder Springs, Georgia. I got a couple bamboo in my face, but I'll try to eradicate them just to see, so you can see I've been here in this tunnel here that allow the water to leave that area and come out here. Again, I'm walking back out of my beautiful adventure today here in Powder Springs, Georgia. So I made it. I made it in this fabulous place today, down in the area. I made it down here, and I'm gonna try to zoom in on slowly on where the water comes from here in Chattahoochee attribute here. Pretty interesting body of water. Right here, I'm gonna try to get a little. This is west southbound out of here, and these are the banks of the river or the attribute here in Powder Springs, Georgia. This water is all, as you can see, back in the day this water would have been drinkable, but you don't know what chemical toxic material may have been picked up along the attribute as it flow from different cities. So I guess if you're out here in the woods and you're thirsty, you have to have one of those, you call that pill, you throw in the water, and then you can purify it and then make it drinkable. But it's all fresh water. And what's interesting about this place here is that there's sand. We call it gutter sand that is a residue that comes from where? I don't know where the sand comes from, but you can find sand. Residue sand that deposit on the side of the banks. And like I said, I don't know where the sand comes from, but this is probably clay dirt, but it's sand here, and it's part of a recreational site here. Looks like place that you want to come out and have a picnic. In the backdrop is a new development over there. Anyway, this is what the grounds look like here. The well look like here. Used to come here and draw water, but I guess you can't do it anymore. But anyway, this is what it looks like. You draw water from this well here, and I don't know, maybe the pipe is the water has depleted, and we can't get water there anymore. But this is what it looks like that the settlers used to have here in this particular place. Of what this well was, it said the history of Powder Spring began with the relationship between the Cherokee and the Creek Indians and the 7 mineral spring in the area. They call this site Gunpowder Spring and believe the water to have healing power. So like I said, the Cherokee utilize all the environment, everything in the environment to be part of their survival. Underneath here was their spring, and when the settlers came, they get along until one overzealous president and governor of Georgia want all the land that belonged to the Powder Spring to the Cherokee. So they enacted a law called the Indian Removal Act, Native American Removal Act, and they remove all the Native American from every territory or every state in the United States of America and confiscate their land and never pay them a penny for the land. And it became their enclave for their settlers. So what we see here today, all the magnificent building, new progress, train that comes through here, was a result of the new settlers' technology that they brought from Europe to transform the whole particular area. So that's what I'm doing today, reminiscing. I'm gonna spin my camera around to that particular new site that I have there, called the new apartment buildings here in Powder Spring, Georgia. So this is a backdrop of those buildings here from this particular area. Outdoor barbecue pit, in case you want to come here and barbecue. This thing here is a pavilion. It was original and they redo it of where the settlers occupied this area here in the past. Here, this is original site, but it's been rehab. Original site of the 1834 site where the settlers used to use for recreation or meeting area here, but they have revised it, put it on a new roof, and they also built a new one over there on the distance. But this one is historical on this site remained the same area that it actually had used back in the 1800s. Okay, Powder Spring, Georgia. Recreation area here. This is a new shelter they have here. And over there is the original library building that I'm gonna spin my camera around to showcase right here on the recreational side. Right down here is where they fire off their fireworks annually for the July in this particular area. I guess they do that because there's nothing here to be catching fire. Over there is the buildings. It's the recreational buildings that Powder Spring Museum with the new high-rise apartments complex in the distance. Place has a lot of amenity, has a lot to offer. If you want to come down and picnic, if you want to have a family event, come down in this place. So, Powder Spring, Georgia. Facility down by the Seventh Spring area. New complex in Powder Spring. From my vantage point, this is what it looks like here. They have a new compound in here. They have a new development and stuff like that. So I'm gonna shoot a wide shot of the city itself from this area here. You can see it's a beautiful place, beautiful new development. I'm gonna switch my camera around and I'm gonna showcase the from a distance the city itself here in Powder Spring, Georgia. This is what the little town looked like from this angle here. As I shoot around here, there's some of the amenity that they have here in Powder Spring, Georgia. So this is what the little town looked like from my vantage point. Look like it said City of Powder Spring Terman Park. So that's what it looks like. And this is the old historical part of the city. And it's a patriotic town. You can take beautiful pictures of this area and it's authentic. That's what it looks like here in Powder Spring, Georgia. Walk along the street and have an ambient feeling of being in a small town setting called Powder Spring. You can bicycle through here. You can hang out. That's what makes it unique. So this is Powder Spring, Georgia. And then these are the grounds right there. South in Powder Spring. A lot of people come through this place because it's historical. The original people that live here. So this is Powder Spring here, Georgia. Welcome to Powder Spring, they said, meaning to come down and be part of it. Here a little bit. Just to say I've been here in Powder Spring. It said the city of Powder Spring, get a spring in your step. Ride your bike. Saxter's Cafe. Root Trading Company. All these amenities in this particular small little town called Powder Spring, Georgia. And you can't help yourself but to take a whole lot of pictures of this place because that's what makes it beautiful. It has all this beautiful attribute here that you can be a part of. Powder Spring, Georgia, on the crest of the city. Call this place at Tubman Park. He is the mayor of this city. So he named the park off of him because he was the one that actually developed the park. It's called Tubman Park here in Powder Spring, Georgia. A lot of people move in here. Similar like the little city. Got brand new apartment here. I guess that's what they like. Brand new apartment here in this city here called Powder Spring, Georgia. What is it called? Naples Sunsetter Cafe. It's some of the eatery you can use. So this is Powder Spring development. I'm gonna go closer there and see if I can capture some of the closer shot of the park itself. This is what you will see right here. There's a lot of festival that goes on here. A lot of activity.